Hello and welcome. Today I will be showing you how to animate using our program called Fire Alpaca and how to turn your animation into a lovely GIF, just like this right here. So once we have a browser open, we're going to want to type in firealpaca.com, which should take us to a page that looks similar to this. So if you have a Mac, you're going to want to click on this Mac download button, and you have a Windows, you're going to want to click on this Windows download button. I already have Fire Alpaca installed, so very straightforward. After you click the buttons, just do what the instructions tell you, and it should be all yours, completely free, 100% free. So we're going to want to go ahead and open it, and when you open Fire Alpaca, you'll always see this ad. Just ignore it, and here we have Fire Alpaca. So of course, this is an art program, and how do we get to making art? Well, you just go up to File, and then click New or Control-N, or if you're on a Mac, it'll be Command-N, E's to the P's, and it'll ask you for your preferred pixel dimensions. 1080 by 720, it's pretty standard, same with this one right here. We'll just, why not, stick with this, and yeah, now we can do whatever we want. So this program has an Add Layers button right here and a Delete Layers button right here, which are very useful and we're going to use. So layers are, as what they sound like, they add layers to the program. So say if you wanted to do something like, I don't know, something like this down here, and then up here do something like this, maybe a little bit of this up here, you'll be able to differentiate between them, which is very useful for a lot of the artists out there. Very, very handy. However, that's not where we're going to be using this today. So we're going to use these layers as cells, like for the good old classic cell animation. Like, if you think of old style cartoons, you know, back before CGI and stuff. And in order to do that, we're going to go up here to View, and then click Onion Skin Mode. And just like that. So now that we have Onion Skin Mode on, we can utilize these layers for animation. I'm going to show you how. However, it's gonna get quiet because it's very hard for me to draw while talking. Also, my mouse is very loud. Please excuse that. So here's a face that looks very weird, but trust me, it's gonna go somewhere. I started on layer 3 for some reason. And notice how the outline of this previous layer is now green, because when you go through layers in Onion Skin Mode, you can see what's above and what's below. So with that being there, we could say now have our guy over here, or you know what, have our guy over here. There we go. Same position, sort of ish. I'm a very horrible animator, so please bear with me. And again, he's green. But if we go back here, he's red. So the layer below will be red and the layer above will be green, so you can differentiate between where they are. Likewise, we go down here and we can move our little guy here. And I promise this is supposed to look like he's dancing. So one great thing about using layers here is that we could use them to get in between certain cells for the little in-between scenes for our animation. For example, you could get between utilizing the back and front, utilize the middle, here, utilize the middle. Again, I am awful animator, but now we could flip through and it's a little more in depth. Now, in order to save this as a GIF, each and every single one of these layers need to be saved as their own individual image. However, that's going to take a lot of time and work. We don't want that. Luckily, this program has a little cheat for us. If we click File, and then Export Layers, which again needs Onion Skin Mode to be on, we'll be giving the option to create a new folder. And for the sake of organization, we'll just name this Animate, because that's a great Rush song. Click Select Folder, and as you can tell, my desktop is very, very organized. Select Folder. Click Yes, and then it should automatically take us to the Fire Alpaca Doga, don't know how to pronounce that site. So I went ahead and took the page to Google Chrome as well as translated it, And this site is totally 100% safe, I promise you. So we're gonna click this button, and we saved our folder in desktop animate. Highlight all of these. If they're black, don't worry about it, I promise, it's totally okay. And here we have this little counter here. So yep, looks like everything's there. And then just like in Fire Alpaca, we could see how fast it is with different frames per second, or FPS. So we'll leave it at 12, and then we could also change the size, but I'm going to leave it at 100% just for simplicity's sake. So we also have this loop replay button, which is just if we want the whole thing to loop or not. And we also have the insert Fire Alpaca logo, which if we make the GIF, it'll have the logo like watermarked somewhere here. We'll click create GIF animation and click OK to download, and click to download again. And of course, here is our animation complete and turned into a GIF file. By default, Fire Alpaca does save it to your downloads folder. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned a bit about Fire Alpaca, maybe a bit about my horrible animation skills, and keep on animating.